What's going on, blurs, nerds, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, the Sensei of the Syndicate, here with another episode of See, the thing that happened was today we're actually doing a little bit something different. We are actually going to talk about summer movies because, as you know, as this has come out, yeah, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has actually just come out. There have been a lot of positive reviews. So before we really get into a full swing of the summer movies, me and the right-hand man of the Syndicate, Sir, here. How you doing? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Before I have to hop on a plane and go to somewhere where there's a different climate, but
Ooh.
I'm here.
Hey, so are you better with planes now?
Yes, I'm a lot better because I zone the fuck out. I I find something to do. I put my headphones in and I just don't pay attention.
There you go. So you don't want a window seat.
I don't mind it. I don't like. I made sure that my flight is all aisle seats, and I
Mhm.
know a lot of people don't fuck with that because people's balls be brushing by and stuff.
Mhm.
But for me, it's like I can see like people coming and stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't like feeling like I'm trapped in the corner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, because like you get to see them coming from one way or the other,
Hmm.
versus like if you're in the middle seat nobody wants. I don't think.
Nobody.
Um,
Right.
but the window seat, like you still got to look over and everything like that. You got, you just have to turn your head. That's all you got to do on that.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? You don't get surprised.
Yeah. So before then, I got a question for you. If you had to choose one fandom and forsake all the rest of your fandoms that you like, which one would you choose? So so that's like I know wrestling, gaming, comics, anime, all of those.
Mm,
Which one would you take, and which ones would you leave out, and why?
I think the one media I'd have to keep, like I had to keep my video games fandom because that's the one where I can literally spend hundreds of hours, you know what I'm saying, like invested in like a good Final Fantasy, you know what I'm saying, will do that to you. You know what I'm saying? It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you rage quit. Like you could hit every spectrum of every emotion with gaming. So I'm gonna go with that one. Like I'd have to remain either a Metal Gear Solid fanatic or a Final Fantasy enthusiast. Yeah, there'd be my two classes. I'd have to remain a video gamer.
Bro, I'm gonna have to go with anime. Like I feel
Mm,
like you get those spectrums, and then there's so many more um, genres of anime nowadays.
mhm,
I like I was telling in another interview, like I cried like blurred tears when I was watching the last part of My Hero Academia. The
mm,
last season, like there were two episodes in there that really kind of they really hit me in the feels, and so that's the ones that really kind of got me. Plus, there's so much now that you can always find something to watch and to get into. And
mm.
now I think now especially you have different kind of ideologies and point of views, and they make for really good conversation. So like when certain people see like Attack on Titan, they think Aaron's a bad guy, but then after that, some people think that Aaron is really justified in what he's doing, or they can
Mhm.
understand why he does what he does.
Facts.
So I definitely get it. But that's where I'd have to go, man. So yeah, so that was my question for the day for you. So let's get to these summer movies, man. So have you heard anything about Spider-Man 2 Into the Spider-Verse?
I've heard it slap. Like everybody who I've spoken to is like blown away by it. They either say it's not quite as good, or they say it shattered their expectations. And both of those are win-win to me, quite honestly. Like that's like an A plus or a A minus situation. You know what I'm saying? So given that Sony has been putting out duds for like the last
Yeah,
couple movies, this is good to see that they knew to get this one right.
yeah.
So shout out to them.
And even like the current Spider-Man, Tom Holland said that this was honestly, he said, the best Spider-Man movie ever. And
Mm,
and when you have somebody saying that, you know what I mean, and you still playing the role, you mean not? It doesn't downplay what you did, but it does make it seem like, oh, okay, well, that's that's something to completely something completely different as far as that's concerned. So definitely, I'm excited to see that. I'm going tonight, which is Saturday, to go see it. So definitely expect a kind of a spoiler free review sometime soon.
mm,
So,
awesome.
but there have been some movies that come out um, during the spring slash summer, as far as that's concerned. So I want to get like your top five movies that you're looking forward to seeing or that you've seen already.
Okay. Um, majority of mine, well, ain't no majority. Well, yeah, majority of mine haven't come out yet, or
Mhm,
they're like literally on their way.
mhm.
But mine aren't typically what people think of for like these summer films that have been announced. Like a lot of people are excited for like Transformers and stuff. The trailers look cool, but you ever feel like you get like franchise fatigue?
Yes, bro. I just don't have enough willpower yet to not go to see any more remade movies or any more like recycled IPs. Um, but I'm getting to that point. Like I'm just getting tired of seeing certain things. Now I say that, but then most of my list of top five do have something in there. So that's why I'm saying, like, my
Okay.
mind is there. My mind understands what's happening, but my heart is like, okay, we still finna go see this Indiana Jones movie to see Harrison Ford punch somebody with that
Hmm.
snap.
Okay. Well, that being said, I only have one remake on my on my list,
See,
and that's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem.
okay,
I know a lot of people were pissy about the way April looks and the way the characters look. I don't give a shit. The instant that I heard what's his name, Finn, I heard Finn's voice from Adventure Time, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in there. I'm in it. Anytime you can recreate these turtles for another generation, I'm for it because we had the 80s, 90s turtles. You know what I'm saying? Those other people had the late 90s where they had the. Do you remember the live action TV show?
yes, and they had the sister
Yes, they had the little sister. And then they had the crossover episode with the Power Rangers that time.
in space, and
You
they
know what I'm
weren't
saying?
in space, so they came back to Earth to whoop ass.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mess with that heavy. You know what I'm saying? So as time progressed, I saw it recreated more and more and more. And I'm not gonna lie, Michael Bay's take wasn't my favorite. I ain't gonna lie, I was not a big super duper fan. But to see
Or,
them go
or
back to the animated roots and to try a different style of animation, I'm
you weren't
excited.
you weren't
Nickelodeon know what
excited
they
about
doing.
the Iron Man Shredder. You weren't super
I
excited
ain't
about
like
that.
it. I ain't like it.
I didn't really care for it myself. Like, give me somebody who's in a purple, still like in a plastic suit for 16
Yes,
hours. Give me that. Give me some good
yes,
yeah,
man.
choreograph. But yeah. Oh, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. What was your favorite um, Ninja Turtles series? Because like you had the 80s 90s one, you had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then you had the ones that came out, what was it, in 2012 from Nickelodeon.
I ain't gonna front. Okay, I Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brought me back into Turtles. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna front. I was on there, but the Nickelodeon reboot and how they got closer involved with the interrelationships of
Mhm.
each turtle. And bruh, I don't care what nobody say, bruh. Donnie and Raphael are the funniest two when they are working together, bruh. Like the shit they say to each other on the Nickelodeon version is hilarious. And typically you would think Mikey would be like the
Mhm.
funnier, but it's just the dynamic between the smart ass and the one who just like unga bunga, I will hit this until it works.
Mhm.
Like those two clashing, it just creates comedy. So I like those two. So long way said, Nickelodeon's version is probably the GOAT for me.
Okay. Did you
No
see the?
disrespect to my OGs, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to James Avery voicing Shredder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The big cheesy April in the banana yellow, you know what I'm saying, with the white shoes. Don't get it twisted. I love that, but we got more.
Yeah, I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one was my favorite just because it had that opportunity to really be like dynamic and like they didn't pull any punches. Like at that point in time, like I remember cartoons were straying away from violence and being more silly, and they was like, no, we finna lean into it. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Shredder beat the snot out of all them Ninja Turtles, threw them up against the wall, was like, hey, we about that life. So yeah, I think that's my favorite from there. But that Netflix movie that they just did with the new rebooted Ninja Turtles, where they had mystical powers, that one I didn't watch the series. I'm not gonna say I did, but that movie though, that movie was good though. So if you get a chance to, you definitely got to check it out. I mean, you got a plane ride coming up, so
You're right. I can't go put them on my phone. Netflix, Paramount Plus.
Well, it's on, and it's just on Netflix, and then you can watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, the only reason I'm mentioning them is because I got a free trial from them recently. So shout out to Paramount.
Shout out. So
all right, so I got 4 others that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm doing these in order of excitement.
Okay.
Number 4, Blue Beetle.
Okay.
I'm excited to see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the beginning of the trailer, that trailer felt really Marvel. And I was just like, oh boy, here we go with another boring ass origin story of, alien technology MacGuffin, get this from here, random soldiers run, save the world from corporate bad guy. But then I saw the sarcasm, and then I saw him pull out the Cloud Buster sword, and I was like, okay, I gotta go see it just for that reason only. But yeah, I'm excited to see a teenage, superhero go into it. No disrespect to Shazam, no disrespect to Miss Marvel, which I enjoyed. The Miss Marvel TV show was cool, but I really like seeing kids take on this sudden rush of responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially a lot of these kids have different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what Jamie's gonna do. And I'm interested to see his culture be represented in this film too, because I'm noticing how deliberate it is now. So I'm interested to see how that works.
All right, so you got Blue Beetle.
Yep. Number 3 is going to be Spider-Man, of course. Just for the simple sake, it's Miles Morales, bro. Like, what? I really feel like I don't have nothing else to say about that. It's Big Miles, Big M, double M. And do you remember when you and I found out there was going to be a black Spider-Man, and we were like, they are going to hate it.
Yes,
hate him, and they did. They tried to do everything in the world to tarnish this Spider-Man. And now it's funny just seeing everybody love him. And I'm just like, 10 years ago when he first came out, y'all was mad pissy. But now y'all all riding the wave.
Yeah, and they had to even backtrack. They were like, he's not really canon. You know what I'm saying? This is the Ultimate Universe. So, just like they did all these crazy things with X-Men. And like, because I think somebody was sleeping with somebody. I think like Magneto was sleeping with Rogue maybe or something like that. And they were like, oh yeah, so this isn't like canon. But then when they made him canon, because they were getting rid of the Ultimate Universe, and they were like, oh no, that's the one person that we got to keep. And I'm like, no, don't do that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing his own thing over here for a while, and now y'all want to bring it back. But yeah, I just don't like those people that kind of gatekeep over that.
Yeah, bro.
Be like, oh well, this is not canon, or this isn't this. Like, just let people be great, man.
Facts. Facts, man. So shout out to Spidey. And listen, the fact that he made it number 3 should
Mhm.
let you know as much as I love Spider-Man, how much I love these last two.
Yes.
Number 2 is going to be a movie that has not been getting as much publicity. Y'all know I love horror movies. Horror movies is my shit. There's this black independent film called Angry Black Girl and Her Monster that is coming out. It is essentially, I'm gonna give you the premise. It's essentially a black girl scientist, right? Her brother was killed uh, due to an interaction involving the police. So he was killed unjustly. And she goes and does the Frankenstein thing of bringing him back to life.
Ooh,
And what she brings back to life is not happy.
I
And
would.
it's a horror movie. And I am for it. I just want to see, and no disrespect to anybody who feels like they're tired of the race thing. I'm sorry, horror movie acknowledging race relations and injustice is new. I'm sorry. it
Not
just
only
grabbed
that,
me.
man, not only that, but like there's a different dynamic in which black people act in horror movies and then what other people do. Like
Right.
we see something going on, we hear a cracking, of snapping branches in the forest. We get the fuck out the forest. Like
Indeed.
there's no like question about what's that? Let's go explore. No. Let's go. It's time to go. And then if you do get caught, then it's like, well, why did you run when you saw me run? Like there's no
Mhm.
remorse. We try to get in and get out because we know that it's hard enough for us.
Facts. So I'm excited to see, what I'm saying, how this affects people who all gets outraged. Um, I just love to see black horror like return and not be stereotypical. That's just it. That's just it. Period. Finally, my dog is back. Syncope has another classic. The writer of The Dark Knight himself is creating a new visually stunning because I've been watching the behind the scenes videos of Oppenheimer and he's using IMAX, but he's using the 13 millimeter film with the IMAX cameras. And the reason he had to wait so long to produce this film wasn't because he had to finish writing it. It was because they had to create the film that was compatible with the cameras so he could shoot the movie.
Bro, that's ridiculous in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you have to like create like the technology to do what you're wanting to do, and then the fact that people and studios are willing to do that for you, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, man, Chris Nolan, he hasn't let me down yet. A lot of people didn't like Tenet. That's cool. A lot of people didn't like Interstellar. That's cool. A lot of people didn't like this and that. That's cool. But I am a fan of anything Chris Nolan puts his hands on. He's up there with Quentin Tarantino for me. Whereas if he puts out a film, it don't even matter. I'm gonna go see it. He's gonna get my money because I love what they do stylistically and artistically. So let's go. So just to recap: number 1, Oppenheimer. Number 2, Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. Number 3, Spidey. Number 4, Blue Beetle. Number 5, Ninja Turtle Mayhem.
Okay.
All right, what you got?
All right. So mine are not in any order because they just came to me. So the first one, it's already out. I haven't seen it yet. Is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Um, I think arguably that could be one of the greatest trilogies that Marvel's produced. The reason why I think that is because everyone shat on Guardians of the Galaxy 1 when it first came out because no one first knew who the characters were. And if you say that you knew who the characters were, you're a motherfucking lie. And number 2, they made you care about them in a way, where, man, like the first one was cool. It was a great origin story. The second one had depth to it. It had spirit and it had soul. And the third one, the way that, knowing because of the fact that everything's closing down, James Gunn's going to DC, So and then a lot of the actors in the shows or in the movie were like, listen, we're not doing anything else. Out of respect for the fact that this man put this much work into it and this much time and this much effort, like the people aren't coming back to reprise their roles in Guardians of the Galaxy 4, even though they may have room for it. So that speaks a whole lot to what's going on as far as that's concerned. So that's my, I'll say, number 5. I'm excited to see Transformers, the new one, because I'm all about the Beast Wars. I'm all about Optimus Primal, and after watching Bumblebee, like it kind of restored some of my faith in the Transformers series. I would really like to see, honestly, just a war on Cybertron with the same technology that they did with Bumblebee, because it looks so fire just doing that. Like, just give me a total CGI. I don't want no humans near it. Like, at the end of the movie or at the end of the trilogy, or how they really want to do it, just give me, maybe them coming to Earth, and that be the start of the, and that's where they ended at. So that.
Let me ask you this, because that's a damn good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how we talked about this a lot with Marvel? Marvel Phase 4 had a tendency of creating movies that need to be shows and shows that need to be movies. Do you think the War for Cybertron should be a show then? Because there's a lot of ground to cover about that.
Yes, actually, yeah, I think so. Because, like, I think being able to see the rise of Pax Orion, aka Optimus Prime, I think I'm right on that one. But having that, and then seeing, because the way that in a comic book that I read, Megatron wasn't necessarily wrong in what he was trying to do, because there were essentially class systems, and he didn't want the class system to go like they were. You know what I mean? Because you were designated to be a certain role, and he was like, I'm not going to be, you're not going to tell me how to live my life. And that's how it kind of started the war for Cybertron. Could be wrong, could be different. I don't care. That's what I remember. So that was really, really cool. I think it would be really great. Because let's see. Okay, because I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what I thought was a really good show that wouldn't have been a really good movie. Halo was a really good show. And so it would make for a good movie, because you'd have to rush everything to do that. So yeah. So that's my number 4. And okay, so I told you already my number 3, Indiana Jones. There's nothing better than hearing those punching sounds. There's those punching sounds that Indiana Jones has. Like, it's just he just fights people. You know what I'm saying? And he's always fighting the Nazis. And God knows, the Nazis are tired of losing to Indiana Jones. Like, somebody just needs to spike his punch. Something like, and sad enough, they don't have Shia LaBeouf in there anymore. So now I want to see how they kind of write him out. Like, oh, I wanted to be a father, but my son started beating on people, so therefore I left his ass alone.
You know what I'm saying? It's got to be what it is.
So, yeah, Indiana Jones, they're always so outlandish. You know what I mean? They got crazier and crazier. The last time it was aliens, and they had a ship, and somebody stole a skull, all the rest of it. So I'm excited to see what kind of craziness that they come up with. Because I really like a good adventure movie. You know what I mean? Something where you just doing a lot of crazy stuff. So that's 3. 2 is they cloned Tyrone. So that is actually something that's coming out on Netflix. So that is about, it's an action comedy with John Boyega and Jamie Foxx. And I think one of them is a drug dealer, or like he uses drugs, and one of them is a pimp, and the lady in there, I don't know her name, she's like she may be a prostitute or a woman of ill, I'm not sure, but they come and they're finding out this conspiracy with the government, and so once again, it's like how black folks would act if they find out like a conspiracy to stuff and they're trying to figure it out. And
Right.
I'm always a good fan of Jamie Foxx, and John Boyega is he's not utilized well enough. But I think I blame him because he took on Pacific Rim Uprising, so that's what kind of shot his ship down. But uh, yeah, that one, when you get a chance, watch the trailer. I don't do it justice, but it looks really really funny. It looks like they just are trying to find out what's going on in their neighborhoods, and yeah, it's up to no good.
I'm gonna check it out.
The last one, and this is the reason why I chose it, is the Flash movie. So I chose the Flash movie because I wanted to ask you, first and foremost, is there a way to distinguish or separate the artist or the celebrity versus the work that they produce?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say no, given the type of character that the Flash is, and I really, really like the Flash. It's just as a whole behind the scenes, I don't fuck with anything that happened involving this movie.
Mhm.
And as far as the movie itself, the reason I'm giving this a pass is because this is going to be the thing that gives DC a second chance of flushing all the old shit away. So I hope to God that Ezra does not get another role for Flash after this. I hope this is their way of rinsing everything involving him as well and just proceeding forward. But
So I'm gonna stop you right there. So earlier this week, the director came out and said that he doesn't believe that Ezra should be recast in this movie. So he thinks that if there are any other future installments of the Flash, that he doesn't think that Ezra Miller have shouldn't be overlooked in that situation.
that's wild. Because I mean, grooming kids is pretty serious.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I can't, bro. I can't. If
So where's your line then? Because
Right.
if it's not grooming kids, cause so that takes R. Kelly out there. You know what I'm saying? He was
Right.
grooming.
like if there are rumblings, like any sort of violence against another person, any sort of abuse, I feel like is grounds. Look, okay, look what they did to, you know what I'm saying, Johnny Depp.
Mhm.
They wiped the earth of him. They act like he didn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? Look at what they're currently dealing with goddamn Jonathan Majors. They are like teetering. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. But Ezra, it's bruh. It
And
was like
the
1 year.
problem
It was
was,
like every
yeah,
2 weeks something new was coming.
yeah, and that was the thing. Like he didn't have no real friends to be like, sit down. Like we not finna do nothing. We finna play this Xbox and we finna order pizza, and that's all we gonna do. We gonna let this shit cool.
Right. That's it.
Like nobody set him aside and was like, nah, you wilding right now. And like that's why I feel sad for certain people because like they don't have a I don't feel like they don't have a good like system, a core, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like so that you can be able to say, hey, listen, nah, let's chill out here for a second. You know what I'm
Right. Just come here. Let me holler at you. Let's talk. Sit your
saying?
stupid down somewhere. Like,
You see all this money you're making, don't do nothing.
right. It bothers me, man. I remember the same thing happened to Jeremy Renner when him and his wife had a little spat, you know what I'm saying, some time ago. And they resolved that, you know, and they were people moving to, you know what I'm saying, have him replaced. But this man, it's just been, you could probably make like a Wikipedia page
Mhm.
of stuff, and they just whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. They're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
DC
So
gonna do what they want to do.
I'm not there for Ezra, but I am there for Michael Keaton because like I think it's now in my mind, um, Michael Keaton is the best Batman. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna argue with you. I agree.
So I'm excited about just having him back. I think they really dropped the ball for not doing a Batman Beyond because like he's old enough to be able to do that, and like he's old. What's up?
And I don't mean to cut you off. We're speaking too soon. We are speaking too soon.
What they said? Well, okay, yeah, because I remember they had it in production, but then after that, then James Gunn took over, and then nothing's in production except for like the 3 or 4 movies that he wants to do right now.
Because he's acknowledged that Static Shock has a crowd to be sated, and I was like, oh shit, nigga said Static.
Well, I just started reading the Static Shock comic book, season 1. The way that they take it, and this isn't giving anything away. They just put it in a realistic situation if these things were to happen, and you know,
Black Lives Matter protests turned, and
then it's just like, you know, test subjects. Then after that, all of this, and how it goes about. So if you guys haven't seen that, definitely pick that book up.
Yeah, pick up the volume because it's an Afro-Latina woman who wrote it, and she did so well that DC came back to her, and I think she's going to do the second volume.
Right.
So yeah, you could feel the vibe in the writing. It ain't ham-fisted, and to all my non-black readers, this isn't going to make you feel like you're a guest at the cookout. It's something everybody can relate to. You know what I'm saying? If you ever felt like an outsider, or you wanted to peer in like the inner workings of like being discriminated against, you know what I'm saying? It's here. And then there's this really dope fight in like issue 2 or 3 where somebody pulls up to somebody's house and does something extreme. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's issue 2.
Yeah, it was that damn train, boy. But it's yeah. When they pulled up, I was like, I would have killed you,
bruh. It was serious. But you got to check that out. Another recommendation that I have, and I'm telling you guys this before it becomes like a production, is Bitterroot. Bitterroot is, if you guys like Supernatural, and then it's taking place in like the Harlem Renaissance era, and it has that whole family dynamic as well. There's a character for everybody to really latch on to. Definitely check that out because they just greenlit it into production by Regina King. She's actually going to stream that one. She's actually going to produce it. So she already got like I think it was an Oscar or Academy for Summer in Miami, where she did a whole story about like if Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Jim Brown got together a Summer in Miami and made something from there that kind of started like the movement within sports culture to be more conscious. And so it's a really good one as well. So check that out. But she did so well that they were like, here, you know, and you were in The Watchmen and you did a really good job. I understand why they didn't bring it back, because like old buddy said, if he didn't have any other material, he wasn't gonna just bring it back. So respect.
Salute.
So yeah, that's where definitely check out Bitterroot. It's really good. There's not aliens. There's monsters. There's family drama that are really really similar to what happens with Winchesters. Um,
Misogyny.
yes. So yeah, that's what we have from there. Uh, did I give my 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, I gave my 5 as well. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Um, oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention real quick, because I think it involves you, sir. In Montana, they cannot watch your SOMF videos because they have blocked TikTok.
That when I found out about that, bro, I was I was laughing because I was like, they gonna find a way around this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, they said VPN sales exploded like 7,000% in the state.
Okay. So they can not only be able to still watch your videos at Sirr on TikTok.
On TikTok.
They can also go to theblurredsyndicate.com and pick up the shirts as well. So
Hey,
I'm just
make
saying.
sure you do so. Because yeah, man. I stepped away from the character, but given the return of Sundress season, it's time for me to come back.
There we go. So what else, man? What else you got? Anything special, exciting?
For this month, no. I'm preparing for a live event I'm doing in July, the Kickback 2023 live. It's essentially a gathering from a remote location of different podcasts that we've interacted with, and it's going to be like, it ain't going to be like, it's going to be at an Airbnb. We're going to sit down, have a set, and just have a big mass group conversation, and the entire weekend is going to be that. We got a section where it's going to be a live squad goals, it's going to be a live safe word, a live 2020, there's going to be a live women's roundtable and a live men's roundtable. And this is taking place the weekend of July 28th through the 31st. Okay. So go to the website, the 2020 Network LLC.com to get more details, or just stay tuned to the Facebook, or just go on Facebook and follow me, or Instagram at Nogcuz, So yeah, I'll be giving out more details about more people coming. But we got some heavy hitters coming. Got somebody I'm really excited to announce, but I got to wait a little bit. So, because I got to confirm. But somebody that took a little talking, but yeah, they coming.
Man, I always look forward to good conversations. And if you haven't already, definitely go to, even on Spotify, listen to all the conversations. And that way, you can be able to hear the conversations from everything. So it's always a great conversation to have that and have that going on from there. So
yeah, man. Go support. Go follow.
Yeah. So yes, right now. So the other thing that we are doing here at the Blurred Syndicate, we will have more videos, more interviews coming out. We got actually more of these kind of maybe one-on-one, maybe smaller groups. That way everybody has that opportunity to be able to speak, talk, and enjoy themselves. And then the other ones that we have coming up, we may do countdown videos as well, so top 5. So definitely check that out. Maybe some comic book reviews. Those things are all in the works. So stay here with us, and we really appreciate it. We want you to have a great week, and we will see you next week. So till then, be like the Hulk. We want you to smash that follow button. And we're going to love you 3000. And we out.
Peace.